I've been seeing so much hate about this dude Nettspend or whatever, and y'all know me. Whenever I see hating, I'm there. So boom. I go on SoundCloud, type his name up. First song I hear is called On The Way featuring Xavier So Gay or whatever. I'm listening to the song and I instantly understood the hating. See, I enjoyed the song, right? I think the beat is crazy as hell. It was produced by a dude named... Okay. The delivery from Nettspend and Xavier leaves much to be desired, but they're kids and they make underground type music. I didn't expect Nas level bars from these guys, but the reason I understood the hate was because history is repeating itself with this dude. Let me explain. This video of Nettspend and Xavier has been making some rounds on Twitter, and I'm shocked at just how split down the middle this is. Usually you'll have a few people saying it's trash, you know, this isn't touching, insert rapper here, you know, regular hating, but I mean, holy hell, there's a lot of hating going on in the quote tweets, but there's also a lot of positive feedback. People defending these two into the ground. This video, along with the other more infamous snippet of him dancing, has been going crazy too. Now, when you look at this video and take account of the fact that it's been getting hate, does it remind you of anything? Now, if you've been into this type of music for a while, you may remember that this infamous snippet by Summers was also receiving a very unnecessary amount of hate as well, but just like the Nettspend situation, it was also receiving praise. Now, there's a couple of key differences I need to go over when we're talking about how even though these two snippets are infamous at this point and similar, they are nowhere near the same situation. Let's start with something I'm a little scared to talk about. People are seriously hating on this kid because he isn't a POC, and apparently that's a problem for POCs because of appropriation. Now, this is a topic I don't want to dwell on too much, but just understand that I understand where these people are coming from on this topic, but like, is it really that serious? I feel like we just try and find new reasons to hate on people at this point. Y'all are reaching. This tweet has 36,000 likes, and I mean, it's kind of funny because like, what's he appropriating exactly? Like, if you watch this video, please let me know what he's doing that's something only black people do. I'm serious. He's making rap music, albeit it may be fucking terrible, but there's plenty of non-black rappers out there. I don't know, I just don't really understand what this tweet meant exactly, but I can't stand it when people get hate in the music space just because of their color. At that point, you're pretty much perpetuating something that you wouldn't like if you were black yourself. Like when Lil Nas X made that god-awful country song, you didn't see people all over Twitter saying it was appropriation. People just enjoyed it for what it was. All the Lil Nas X hate came after people found out he wasn't straight. Then it became a problem. But that's a topic for another day. Shit, if y'all want, I could bring up Yeet. When everyone started sucking that man off and doing tricks on it, it wasn't a problem of appropriation then. Now, if that's because Yeet's music is miles better than Nettspend's Jumbalarchy, that's up for debate. But I won't be in it because you're a hypocrite. Eminem has millions of black fans, oh, but he's a legend, so it's not a problem. You see where I'm going with this? It's solely based on the music, and that's where y'all start to pick and choose. I just think that's really unfair to this kid. Now, another thing I want to get into is way easier for me to talk about. Probably the biggest difference between these two snippets, and this is my opinion, so don't stone me or be like, you're bugging or whatever stupid shit y'all say in the comments. One of them, sound-wise, is a million times better than the other, and it's definitely the Summer snippet. Now let me explain. The Summer snippet came out in 2018, 5 whole years ago. Let's switch these two snippets around in history and say that the Nettspend snippet came out in 2018 and Summer snippet started making rounds a few days ago. I feel like even back then, the exact same thing would have happened. And I say that because the song from Nettspend is just kind of not that great. It's not a bad song by any means, it's just nowhere near Prelude by Summers. See, y'all have to remember something. Summers is arguably one of the biggest trendsetters in the scene, and this snippet is one of the most legendary videos of all time. It got memed into obliteration, but there were a lot of people, including me, that thought the song was hard. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Like, come on, bro. It's a whole classic. Meanwhile, you've got fucking Nettspend making whatever this shit is. You just can't put these two together, even though they're moderately having the same effect, because even though Summer snippet got a lot of hate, that song is now regarded as a classic. At least to me. And I just feel like this mess by Nettspend is not a classic. It's really not. In 5 years from now, you can come back to this video and call me an idiot if I'm wrong, but I doubt I'm wrong. I just don't think that's gonna happen. With Nettspend, you can certainly hear inspiration from Chief Keef, Future, Doo-Wop Kane. Like, if you really listen to it, it's nothing new. It's just rehashed, blended genres from people who are already big that did it first, and probably did it while Nettspend was in elementary school. All this happening while you've got Summers, who brought something very new to the table all the way back in 2018 with his viral snippet. Keep in mind though, right? This was when the underground, quote unquote, was actually underground. Now that's a topic for a whole different video, but like a lot of people in the underground scene now, it's kind of like, it's not really underground anymore if you really think about it. It's just not as deep as it used to be. But I'm getting off topic. This genre is really exhausting. We get a new thing to like or dislike every single month. It'll be forgotten about or nowhere near as hype as it is right now a few months down the road. You had hyperpop, then the oversaturation of rage beats, then Ken and Destroy Lonely, then Osama-san, now it's Nettspend. Like, this scene is just a long timeline of history repeating itself with the occasional switch up. That's mostly the main reason people have been saying the underground is dead right now or whatever. But I will say, I do think the hate train for this kid is a little unnecessary because he's just that, a kid. Albeit, he may not be that original or good, but he's just making music. If you're gonna formulate an opinion on something, at least go out of your way to know as much as you can about it first. That's what I did before making this video, because I wanted to make sure I really knew how I felt about Nettspend before giving my take on whether or not he's garbage. And my consensus on the matter is no, he's not garbage, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like he's good either. He's not terrible to me, but he's just not that good. He's just in a neutral lane with me right now, and I'm gonna be really real with y'all, man. I'm desperate for something new. I really am. With Uzi seemingly scrapping Barter 16, Utopia being an album I wasn't a huge fan of, and Yeat and Bonnie X kissing every time they step in the studio together, I just need something new to be excited about as a fan of this scene. I'm not saying we need a new Summers or Cardi or whatever. We need a whole new era entirely. I mean, there's some really cool artists coming out right now, but I don't know, I feel like that's just not enough. There are different eras of the underground, with my favorite being the Slay World / pre Whole Lotta Red era. This was like 2018 to 2020, and that era is really not even my favorite. Like, to be completely honest, we could go back to when Omen 13 was coming up, Kill Station, Night Lavelle's Concept Vague era. Like, I've been in the scene for a very long time, and watching it go from greatness to Nettspend, it just leaves a lot to be desired, and it's really depressing, to be honest. And that's why I'm just saying we need something very new, because at this point I feel like the underground is just taking a decline right now if we're like really getting excited over this. Like, I'm not trying to hate, I'm just saying, this compared to what it once was, it's kind of sad. But like I said though, those two eras, I think that was the best time to be a fan of the underground scene, because all this new shit is rehashed garbage. Like, I'm really finna get disrespectful. I wanted to play nice, but no. What the hell is up with all these new dudes sounding the same as someone that came out before them? I miss when there was like stuff I had never even heard before coming out. Like, did y'all know SSG Kobe has been dropping some actual bangers like One on One and Hellcat Freestyle? And you've got idiots saying, oh, this sounds like Osama-san. Bro, shut up. Kobe is an OG to this scene. That man is not trying to copy a clone of a clone. This whole scene is a mess right now. But back to Nettspend. All I can say about this kid is that I hope he's trying to find a manager right now and figure out how to capitalize off of how much he's getting talked about right now. Shit, he got a video out of me, so he's doing something right at the moment. I just don't want him to be another thing that fades off into the past. Twitter and TikTok are really helping him out right now, because I've been seeing this kid's name everywhere, and that's cool for him. Just hope his music gets better in the process. I'll tell you one thing though, when I was born, I was blessed to be able to hear, and I feel like a lot of people take that for granted. There are really people out here in this world who are deaf, and that sucks. But you've got people abusing that privilege of hearing sound by listening to Rich Amiri. Later.